Part 236. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2351. Chapter 2351. She doesn't care what MRSMO thinks anyway. He turned his head and looked at Jiao Mian, gesturing for her to answer the question with his eyes. The reporter asked a very common question. Didn't make things difficult for them or ask questions they shouldn't. But both Zanbo and Jiao Mian find this problem a bit tricky. Originally, Jiao Mian only needed to answer normally. But she suddenly thought of a jealous person. If Mo Yesi knew that she had private contacts with Zanbo, and there were many contacts, the jealousy would definitely be overturned. But we can't talk about the show, and the two of them will never be in contact again. Answering like this will make people think that their show was all about plastic friendship, and maybe there will be rumors of discord or something like that. She has been exposed countless times before. So I know that if you give a bad answer, you will be easily criticized. Jiao Mian thought seriously for a while before taking a microphone from the host. Of course we have contact. But if there is nothing going on, we usually don't chat, because everyone is very busy. Whenever we have free time, we don't chat. I wish I could sleep for a few more hours. So for daily interaction, I might just check the moments. If I see the other person's updates, leave a comment or give him a like. But Zanbo rarely posts on moments, so I even give him likes. Opportunities for comment are few. When everyone is not so busy in the future, I think we can actually find time to get together. Of course, this all depends on everyone's schedule. In fact, it is difficult for everyone to be free for a period of time. Usually it's me he is busy when he is free, or I am busy when he is free. Jiao Mian said so much, all she wanted to express was that she had a connection with Zanbo, but it was limited to likes and comments in the circle of friends. It's nothing, they don't chat privately. Yes, Zanbo also smiled and agreed, everyone is really busy. I told Sister Shen before and asked her if she would have an appointment with our group before the free time. She said that her schedule has already been scheduled until the end of next year. The reporter didn't ask much about this issue. If Jiao Mian was still single, reporters would definitely be interested in her relationship with Zanbo. We'll ask more detailed questions. But everyone knows that Jiao Mian is already famous and has an owner. Her boyfriend is the business tycoon Mo Yesi. Under such circumstances, no one would dare to put Jiao Mian together with other men. The reporter then asked another question they were most interested in. Jiao Mian, it was previously reported that you and Mo Yesi, the president of Mo Group, are engaged. So can you tell everyone about the approximate date of your wedding? Woolen cloth. As you know, many netizens and your fans are very concerned about your lifelong events. The specific date of the wedding has not been decided yet, Jiao Mian replied gracefully, but we are already making preparations for the wedding. If nothing else happens, the wedding should be held next year. I will definitely tell everyone when the time comes. So, your relationship has been confirmed by the two families, right? Yes, Jiao Mian directly omitted MRSMO. She doesn't care about MRSMO's opinion anyway. Then there is one last question. What do you think of Shenro's evaluation of your acting skills? She claimed to have watched the TV series you starred in and thought your performance in the show was average. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2352. Chapter 2352. She hates him now, but she still loves him. After the reporter asked this question, even Zanbo turned his head and waited curiously for her answer. Because he also knew about this matter. Zanbo is still a rather gossipy person at heart. The Weibo account he authenticated was managed by the company team. But he also has a trumpet of his own. He will often log into his Trumpet account and check the hot searches on Weibo when he has nothing to do. Xiao Mian still looked calm. After listening to the reporter's questions, she did not show anger or show any other emotions. After she was silent for a few seconds, she curled her lips and continued to answer the reporter, "I don't have any opinion. Everyone has different standards for judging a person's acting skills. Besides, I know that I also have some shortcomings, so in the future I will work harder and give back better works to everyone. Although I cannot satisfy everyone, I hope to satisfy 80% of people. This is a goal I have set for myself, and I will work hard to achieve it." She answered generously, even modestly, and admitted her own shortcomings. There is no reason to belittle Shenro because of this. In comparison, Shenro's evaluation seemed too stingy, making people feel that she was too emotional. Asterisk. After Xiao Mian finished the interview, she entered the venue and found her seat to sit down. After a while, Shenro also walked on the red carpet and was interviewed by reporters. A reporter said, "Miss Shen, Xiao Mian just said that her wedding to Mo Yesi, the president of the Mo family, will be held next year. As everyone knows, the Mo family and the Shen family are family friends. Miss Shen and President Mo have also been friends for many years. So I would like to ask Miss Shen, will you go to the wedding?" Shenro was posing with a commercial smile on her face for reporters to take pictures. As soon as the reporter who asked the question finished asking, the smile on Shenro's face seemed to freeze suddenly. For a few seconds, the entire photo his face looked very stiff. After a few seconds, her expression recovered. But the expression on his face still looks a bit stiff and not natural at all. "If they invite me, of course I will go." She tried her best to show that she didn't care about this matter, just like she told herself repeatedly that she didn't care about Mo Yesi anymore, but she still couldn't help but pay attention. Her mood will still be affected by his every move. Even if she had known that Mo Yesi and Xiao Mian were married. But when the reporters mentioned their wedding, the moment of jealousy and sourness was not fake. She found that she still cared about it. The man she has liked for more than 20 years. She hates him now, but she still loves him. If there is no love, where will the hate come from? Her current feelings for Mo Yesi were entangled with love and hate. For a moment, she felt that she hated this man to death, and wanted to use all means to destroy his happiness and make him feel pain. After a while, she missed him extremely, and even held on to the unrealistic hope of having a future with him. If she fell in love with a man like Mo Yesi, it would be impossible for her to let him go. It is impossible for her to like other men. Although she thought Gong Zili was good before, she felt that she also liked Gong Zili. But when it comes to the depth of her liking, she just likes Gong Zili. But she loves Mo Yesi. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2353. Chapter 2353. But her eyes betrayed her. If she wants to accept one of them when both Mo Yesi and Gong Zili love her deeply, she will definitely accept Mo Yesi without hesitation. Only Mo Yesi is the most suitable person for her. But the fact is that both Mo Yesi and Gong Zili have fallen in love with that Xiao Mian. The two best men around her were both taken away by that bitch. Shenro hated Xiao Mian deeply. This hatred was so strong that she couldn't hide it even when reporters were filming. She seemed not to care about this matter on the surface. But her eyes betrayed her. All of this was completely captured by the camera. Asterisk. When Xiao Mian was notified to attend this party, she didn't know she would win the award. So when the host read her name and asked her to go on stage to receive the award, she was stunned for a few seconds before reacting. Then she walked onto the stage in a daze amid a round of applause. She won the Weibo Most Popular Female Artist of the Year award and the Weibo Most Searched Artist of the Year award. There are 2 awards in total. They are all well deserved. Looking at this year, Xiao Mian is indeed the most active female artist on Weibo's hot searches. She has a hot search physique and is on hot searches every 2 days, more frequently than any other woman. These 2 awards were given to her, and they were given to the most suitable people. The trophies were a bit heavy, and it was a bit inconvenient for her to hold 2 of them by herself. The host took one for her, and then said to her with a smile, Mian, you won 2 awards at once. How do you feel inside at this time? Can you share it with everyone? Certainly. This is the first time for Xiao Mian to stand on the stage to receive an award. Although these 2 awards are not as important as professional awards such as the Golden Globe Award, for her, this is her first time winning. She was still very happy and surprised. She pursed her lips and thought for a while, raised her head, looked at the people in the audience with a smile, and said in a soft voice, I didn't expect that I could win the award, so I'm really surprised now. First of all, I want to thank you all for your recognition of me, and I also want to thank XL Weibo for your recognition of me. I will work harder in the future, thank you all. Xiao Mian didn't say much. Because her true feelings at this time were not only happy, but happy. Nothing else. The host wanted to hear something else from her mouth, so he smiled and asked, in addition to thanking your fans and XL Weibo, is there no one else to thank? Someone else? Xiao Mian was stunned for a moment. Well, no, the host paused, then pointedly said, for example, someone who has been by your side and supported you silently. Xiao Mian reacted immediately. She stood on the stage, with so many people watching, and when she looked at the host who was obviously looking at her with a bit of gossip, her face couldn't help but feel a little hot. After all, she still feels a little embarrassed when showing affection in public. But at this moment, she felt that she should thank that person. The man who has always been by her side, loves her and dotes on her, silently solves all her problems, and silently protects her. Well, I also want to thank someone thinking of Mo Yesi. Xiao Mian showed a happy and sweet smile, the corners of her lips slightly raised. Here, I want to thank my fiancé Mo Yesi. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2354. Chapter 2354 Mo Yesi, what do you mean? Thank you for always being by my side and silently giving everything for me. Without him, I don't know what I would be like now. Maybe I would never have the chance to stand on this stage. I also want to thank him for his love for me. His tolerance and support, because of his support and understanding, I can continue to pursue my dreams. So, Mr. Mo, thank you. At this moment, everything Xiao Mian said was true. Without Mo Yesi, she really doesn't know what she would be like now. She met him and after being with him, her luck gradually improved. Otherwise, she might still be suppressed by Xiao Angzhen. Let alone become a little famous in the entertainment industry. Whether he can continue to stay in the entertainment industry is a question. As for Xiao Chen's illness, there is no hope of being cured. He is the noble man in her life. It was he who changed her life, turning her from an unlucky person into a lucky person that everyone envied. The audience applauded again. Everyone looked at Xiao Mian with envy. Who would not envy a winner in life who has achieved both career and love? She is now the most popular little girl, her fiancé is the president of the Mo Group, and she has a distinguished background as the daughter of the Bai family. This is not only a winner in life, but also the most awesome of all winners in life. God has been kind to her. No one has been kinder to her. It is not an exaggeration to say that she is God's own daughter. Others looked at Jiao Mian on the stage with envy, but Shen Ro's eyes were filled with strong hatred. In addition to hatred, she still hated Jiao Mian. Because until now, she still thinks that Jiao Mian robbed her of everything. Mo Yesi, Gong Zili, these were originally the men around her. If Jiao Mian hadn't appeared, she would have definitely married Mo Yesi in the end. Even if she can't marry Mo Yesi, she will still be with Gong Zili. In short, she will live a very happy life, and she will still be the glorious Miss Shen who is envied by everyone. Instead of like now. All the limelight was stolen by Jiao Mian. As long as Jiao Mian appears, no one will notice her anymore. Her former glory is gone forever. This took away everything that originally belonged to her. Also show off your superiority in front of her from time to time. She swore deeply. She will definitely get back everything she lost. Asterisk. Jiao Mian received the award and just returned to the stage when the handbag placed on the seat vibrated. Her mobile phone was inside. She took it out and looked at it. It was Mo Yesi who sent her a WeChat message asking her when the party would end and he would pick her up. Jiao Mian estimated the time and then replied to him. After a while, Mo Yesi sent another WeChat message, "You can think carefully now about how to explain to me later." Jiao Mian was confused when she received this message. She slowly typed, and sent it to him. Mo Yesi replied instantly, "I'll settle the score with you later." Jiao Mian was even more confused. Mo Yesi, what do you mean? This man, can't he just say what he has to say? What kind of riddles are you trying to play with her? She thought about it again and again, but she couldn't figure out what she should explain to him. Mo Yesi did not reply to her question, but replied, "I have to discuss a business deal, and it will be difficult to reply to your message for a while. Wei Zheng is with me. If you need anything, you can call Wei Zheng. Wait for me when the party is over, and I will pick you up and go home with you." End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2355. Chapter 2355, Can a man like him fall in love? Jiao Mian, oh, I understand. Mo Yesi, be good. Jiao Mian. This man is inexplicable. Mian, who are you talking to? Is it your Mr. Mo? Zanbo and Jiao Mian are located next to each other. Seeing Jiao Mian typing on her mobile phone, he took a look at it with a gossipy face and saw the word good written by Mo Yesi. Then he sighed with a sigh, "Oh, this is the sour smell of love. You and your Mr. Mo are really bored." Actually, when Zanbo saw the word good written by Mo Yesi, he didn't immediately feel the sour smell of love. He really felt what horror was. Because at that time, Zanbo had an image of Mo Yesi's ice cube face saying the word good to Jiao Mian in his mind. No matter how he thought about it, it felt extremely weird. Place it with other couples and it will make people feel very pampered. Dan Mo Yesi? In Zanbo's opinion, it is normal for an ascetic man like Mo Yesi to be single for the rest of his life. There should be no women around him. How can a man like him fall in love? Will it hurt someone? Can it make women feel happy? Wouldn't a woman be afraid of a face like that? So Zanbo admired Jiao Mian very much, for she dared to fall in love with Mo Yesi, and she even succeeded in taking Mo Yesi down. This is really not something that ordinary people can do. I heard that the eldest daughter of the Shen family has been chasing Mo Yesi for more than 20 years, but she has not been able to catch him. From this incident, we can see how difficult this man is. Jiao Mian has undoubtedly overcome a world-class problem when she chases Mo Yesi. He will obey her even if the wall falls down. What are you doing, peeking at other people's chats? Jiao Mian was startled by Zanbo's sudden voice. She put the lock screen on her phone and turned her head to glare at Zanbo. I didn't peek, I just accidentally glanced at it. Jeanbo was caught at the scene, but he could still tell lies with a calm face. Chiao Mian glared at him again. Come on, I don't know what kind of person you are. I really didn't peek, and I just saw the last WeChat message Mr. Mo sent you. I didn't see anything else. Jeanbo blinked innocently. By the way, when you were on stage thanking your boss Mo just now, I saw Shenro's face turned green. Jeanbo changed the subject. The way she looked at you was so scary, like she was looking at an enemy. Same. Recalling Shenro's look, Jeanbo reached out and touched the goosebumps on his arms. I think she must think you robbed Mr. Mo, so she hates you. You have to be careful with this person. I'm afraid she did something bad to you. After all, jealousy and hatred drive people crazy. A woman is crazy, but she can do anything. Shenro hates her? Chiao Mian has known this for a long time. The grudge between her and Shenro has long existed. Shenro has also done something bad to her a long time ago. She didn't take Shenro very seriously. For her, she didn't want these unimportant people to affect her life. Shenro's general method to deal with her was to hack her online. It wasn't the first time that Chiao Mian was hacked. Not afraid. When she was still Xiao Xiaomai, she didn't have many fans of her own, so Shenro couldn't succeed. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2356. Chapter 2356. Is it still cold? What's more, she now has many real fans supporting her. Shenro wants to repeat her old tricks, but it's not that easy. Asterisk. The party is over. Chiao Mian received Mo Yesi's WeChat message. I've arrived, where are you? Chiao Mian and Jeanbo had just walked out of the hotel door. She looked towards the street and saw a familiar black Rolls-Royce parked at the intersection outside the hotel door. That's Mo Yesi's car. Chiao Mian immediately replied to him, I'm at the gate, I'll come over to find you. She was also wearing Zanbo's suit jacket. She took it off and gave it to Jeanbo. After telling him to contact him another day, she picked up the hem of her skirt and went to find Mo Yesi. There was no heating outside, so Zanbo, who was only wearing a thin shirt when he came out, was so cold that he shivered several times. So Chiao Mian returned the coat to him, and he put it on immediately. It's just that he felt even colder even though he was already wearing an extra coat. And the cold I felt this time was different from the wet and cold feeling just now. This time it was like the air conditioning had penetrated into his bones, and it was still the kind of extremely cold air conditioning that was so cold that he even doubted his life. Jeanbo felt the direction where the cold air was blowing. He raised his head and looked at it. He was a little dumbfounded at this sight. Then I felt even colder. It feels cool to the heart. Because he saw Mo Yesi. The man who made him feel very scary got out of a black Rolls-Royce. After getting out of the car, his cold and distant eyes glanced towards him. That look made Jeanbo feel cold at all. There is no temperature. Looking at him like that, he felt a sense of fear that his death was imminent. Jeanbo suddenly remembered that when they just walked out of the door, Chiao Mian was still wearing his suit jacket. Should Mo Yesi see it? Zanbo felt that Mo Yesi must have seen it. That's why there was the death stare just now. He wailed in his heart, feeling that he was going to die soon. To be honest, if Mo Yesi wanted to crush him to death, it would be as easy as crushing an ant to death. No, he has to tell Chiao Mian later and ask her to help him talk. He and her were completely innocent, and there was no ambiguity at all. If Mo Yesi squeezed him to death like this, then he would be too unjust. Asterisk. When Chiao Mian walked down the steps with her skirt in hand, Mo Yesi had already gotten out of the car and walked towards her quickly. As the man walked, he took off his black coat. He walked up to Chiao Mian, wrapped his black coat around her, and then stretched out his arms to hold her in his arms. Chiao Mian was shivering from the cold, and a burst of warmth enveloped her. The next second, she was pressed against a warm chest. She was wrapped in a coat with a woody scent. Chiao Mian sniffed, and the tip of her nose was filled with the familiar and warm scent of Mo Yesi. All the coldness was instantly dispelled. She was tightly surrounded by Mo Yesi's unique aura. His cold little hand was held by him. His palm was very warm, and he warmed her little hand little by little in a short while. "Are you still cold?" Mo Yesi wrapped both of her little hands and rubbed them to keep them warm. He touched Chiao Mian's cold little hands and couldn't help but frown. There was a hint of dissatisfaction in his eyes. "Isn't the air conditioning in the hotel turned on? My hands are so cold. And what's going on with your agent? Didn't I bring you something to keep warm? I just discovered that the content of a chapter yesterday was repeated, and it has now been replaced. Those who have subscribed can refresh it and read it together with today's chapter." End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2357. Chapter 2357. Are you also so attentive to others? There is air conditioning. Chiao Mian quietly leaned in his arms to keep warm, but it's still a bit cold. Sister Xie brought me a down jacket and put it in the nanny's car. I didn't have time to get it. Hurry up and get in the car. Mo Yesi said nothing more, half carrying her towards the Rolls-Royce on the side. Uncle Lee was waiting aside, and when he saw them coming, he immediately opened the car door. After getting in the car, Mo Yesi told Uncle Lee, "Turn up the air conditioner temperature." "Yes, Master." Uncle Lee immediately raised the temperature of the air conditioner a few degrees and raised the windows to completely block the cold air outside the car. It is warm inside the car. Soon, Chiao Mian felt that her hands and feet were getting warm. She was still wearing Mo Yesi's cashmere coat, so she didn't feel cold at all. Mo Yesi was still holding her hand, feeling that her little hand was slowly getting warmer, and her face became a little better. "I'll take some cold medicine when I get back later," Mo Yesi said. "Why are you taking cold medicine?" "I don't have a cold." Chiao Mian blinked and asked in confusion. Mo Yesi lowered his eyes and looked at her. "It's such a cold day, you wear so little, and you're still freezing. Taking cold medicine is for prevention. If you take medicine after you have a cold, you will have to suffer for several days." Oh, Chiao Mian met his eyes with a smile, and reached out to touch his handsome face. "Mo Yesi, have you always been so careful?" "Huh?" The man raised his eyebrows slightly. "Are you also so attentive to others?" When she first married Mo Yesi, Chiao Mian felt that a rich young man like him, who stretched out his hand from his clothes to his mouth, would definitely not be able to take care of others. Let others take care of him. But later on, she became the one who was taken care of by him. He is more considerate than women in many things. At least, Chiao Mian felt that Mo Yesi was much more attentive than her. She didn't think of many things, but he did. Just like drinking cold medicine to prevent it. "What do you think?" Mo Yesi let the white and tender hands of the little woman in his arms touch his face randomly, and the three-point smile in his eyes was full of indulgence and doting. "Except for you who have no conscience. Little thing, who else can let me worry about this? The treatment you receive here is unique, do you understand?" There was a hint of sweetness in Chiao Mian's heart. Sometimes, women really don't want much. It is enough to have a man who always puts himself in his heart and treats him as a treasure. And Mo Yesi is such a man. She is also very lucky to marry such a man. Oh, Chiao Mian responded with a long drawl, her eyes curled up, and her smile turned into two crescents. However, after she was happy, She felt a little dissatisfied when she remembered the name Moyesi had just called her. "Why do you say I have no conscience?" She bit her lip and glared at the man. "Where can I have no conscience?" He also called her a heartless person. There was a smile in Moyesi's deep eyes, and his thin lips raised slightly. "He has no conscience, he is just a little white-eyed wolf. His treatment of her is no different from his treatment of his ancestors. No, he was not so obedient to his ancestors. So he almost tore out his heart and showed it to her. He is full of affection and regards her as the most important in his heart. And what about her?" Until now, Moyesi still couldn't figure out what kind of feelings Chiao Mian had towards him. Sometimes, he feels that she likes him very much. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2358. Chapter 2358. Don't even think about it. But sometimes, he felt that she didn't care about him that much. What it feels like to worry about gains and losses, he has thoroughly experienced it from her. Is there any solution? Even though she is a little white-eyed wolf, he still likes her very much. His whole life, he has been eaten to death by this little white-eyed wolf. Chiao Mian was not happy anymore. She grabbed the collar of his shirt and pulled the man to lower his head, with a look of dissatisfaction on his face. "Moyesi, please explain it clearly to me. Why am I so blind to you? Don't I treat you badly, okay?" "Well, okay, very good." Moyesi nodded. "Then why do you say I'm a white-eyed wolf?" "Okay, I made a mistake." Moyesi knew that if the little woman in his arms started to make trouble, there would be no end, so he didn't even explain, and just surrendered and raised the white flag. "You are not a white-eyed wolf, I'm the Chiao Mian." No, Chiao Mian became stubborn and pulled him to make trouble. "You must tell me clearly, why do I have no conscience?" "Moyesi, I didn't just say it, I said it wrong. You clearly didn't really admit your mistake. You admitted your mistake, but I know in your heart you still think I have no conscience. If you don't tell me clearly tonight I will go to sleep in another room." Chiao Mian originally wanted to threaten Moyesi, but after thinking about it, she didn't know what to threaten him with, and in the end I said this without confidence. Because she felt that Moyesi would only care if she threatened him with this matter. After all, whether it means literally or in another sense, he shows that he needs her. He once said that he could only sleep well if he hugged her and slept together. While she was filming and recording the show, he couldn't sleep well. This point, Chiao Mian can prove to be true. Because when Moyesi went to visit her, the dark circles under his eyes were very heavy, and it looked like he had not slept well. He has a sleep disorder. Chiao Mian heard him say that before meeting her, he had always suffered from poor sleep. If he could sleep for 3 or 4 hours without waking up in the middle of the day, that was considered a good quality of sleep. Most of the time, he wakes up 3 or 4 times a night. And once you wake up, it's especially difficult to stay awake. When he was with her, he could sleep for at least 6 hours at a time. Although Chiao Mian didn't know why Moyesi could sleep better when he was with her, anyway, from this aspect, he still needed her very much. "Nonsense." Moyesi frowned slightly. "No." Chiao Mian curled her lips. "No, I will sleep alone. Anyway, you despise me, call me a white-eyed wolf, and say I have no conscience. Well, I will have the guest room cleaned up when I get back. Chiao Mian, I'm telling you, don't even think about it." Moyesi pinched her chin, moved closer to her, breathed warm breath on her lips, and bit the corner of her lips gently. "You can only follow, I'll go with you. I have a key to every room. Whichever room you go to, I'll go to. Aren't you happy that I said that to you, or do you think you are actually very nice to me?" "Well." The man lowered his head and bit the corner of her lip. The force was not strong, but it was slightly punishing. Chiao Mian frowned. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2359. Chapter 2359. Whoever is moved first will be finished. Then you have to speak clearly. Why do you say I have no conscience? How have I ever failed you? Moyesi was stunned for a moment. He looked at the stubborn girl in his arms, his Adam's apple rolled, and a low laugh came from his throat. You still dare to say that you have a conscience? Baby, from the day we got married to now, you tell me what you did to me. What did I do to you, huh? Chiao Mian. She could hear the strong dissatisfaction in the man's words. She really thought carefully about every detail of their life together since she married Moyesi. As she thought about it, she, who originally thought she was being reasonable, was speechless. Because she discovered that she was indeed not as good to Moyesi as he was to her. Let's talk about the dedication of the two people. Moyesi's contribution was very generous. She might get 5 points, 6 points, 7 points at most. So what Moyesi said is not wrong at all. She seems to be a bit heartless. She got used to his kindness to her, and she accepted his kindness to her calmly. As time went by, she even felt that this was what she should do. Moyesi should be nice to her. But she never thought about returning the same feelings to him. She thought that men would not take these kinds of love affairs too seriously. But now it seems that Moyesi obviously cares. You're speechless, huh? Moyesi looked at the silent little woman in his arms, with a hint of guilt in her eyes. He reached out and lifted her chin, looking at her dark eyes. Lip smiled lowly and said, "Do you feel that you have been wronged now? You don't know what to say." Chiao Mian pursed her lips and continued to remain silent. Well, she was a bit wrong. Just now, I was still arguing with him because I was justified. I heard another chuckle from a man, low, magnetic, and very sultry, so, if you know you didn't do a good job, you should reflect on it. You should be nicer to me in the future, do you understand? Baby, I don't ask you to treat me 10 times better. As long as you have 5 or 6 points, I'll be satisfied. The man said it humbly. No matter how invincible he is in the eyes of others. But in front of the woman he loves, his distinguished status, his crazy outstanding appearance, and all his excellent conditions cannot make him feel the slightest sense of superiority, and he may even feel a little unconfident. The one who falls in love first cannot be the one who can control the situation in love. The one who is tempted first is always the humbler one. That's why there is a saying, whoever is moved first is doomed. Moyesi, I'm sorry, I didn't know you cared so much. Chiao Mian reflected on herself and was very proactive in admitting her mistake. She lowered her head, bit the corner of her lip and said softly, I just reflected after that, I did not do well enough. I will treat you better in the future. Have you really reflected on it? Moyesi reached out and touched her head. Did you mean what you said? Or did you just say it casually? I didn't just say it casually. Chiao Mian immediately raised her head and grabbed his hand, her eyes full of sincerity and determination. I have really reflected on it, and I swear, I didn't say it casually. Yeah, Moyesi nodded. Okay, I believe you. Then I'll wait and see how you perform in the future. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2360. Chapter 2360. But now, he seems to have changed his mind. Don't worry, Chiao Mian looked like she had learned from the experience. I will definitely perform well and I will not let you down. Now that you said so. Moyesi curled his thin lips, and the smile on his lips was a little evil. He reached out and brushed the few strands of hair hanging from her forehead behind her ears, as if he was joking, but he said with a serious tone, "In order to show your sincerity, why don't you give me a child first?" Cough cough cough, Chiao Mian was frightened all of a sudden. She, who had vowed to behave well just now, now had her eyes widened, and the expression on her face was a bit scary. "What?" Mo Yesi smiled, "don't want to? You just said you would treat me well in the future." No, Chiao Mian glanced at his face carefully, trying to make sure whether he was telling the truth or whether he was joking. She swallowed and said, "Didn't we agree not to have a baby in 2 years?" "Yes, that's what I said." Mo Yesi narrowed his eyes, "but at that time, I thought it would be okay to have a baby in 2 years. Now I think it is better to have a baby sooner. You are young now, so hurry up." I recovered quickly after giving birth. Grandma has always wanted us to have a baby soon. Chiao Mian pursed her lips and frowned. Mo Yesi lowered his eyes and stared at her. "Don't you want to?" "It's not that I don't want to." Chiao Mian bit her lip and was silent for a while before she said, "I also want our baby, and I don't object to becoming a mother early. It's just that you suddenly said you want a baby, so I'm not mentally prepared." "Nothing. You also know that I have a movie to shoot next. Sister Xie told me that the director has very high requirements for quality, so the movie may take at least 7 or 8 months to shoot. If I suddenly get pregnant in the middle of the movie, it will be affected by me alone. I feel very bad about the progress of the entire crew. If you really want to have a baby as soon as possible." Chiao Mian took a deep breath and was silent for a while before she seemed to make up her mind. "Can you wait until I finish filming this movie before we can have a baby?" Chiao Mian still doesn't want to have a baby so early. She felt that even if she waited another 3 or 4 years, she would still be under 25. Even if you have a child at that time, it is not too late at all. Although Zhang Luli already has a baby, and he is as old as her. But she understands Zhang Luli. If the baby Zhang Luli was pregnant with was not due to an accident, she would not have had the child so early. She and Mo Yesi had no such surprise. So, she didn't want to become a mother early. No matter how many people can help her take care of the baby in the future, she knows very well that once she gives birth to a baby, she will not be as free as she is now. Unless she doesn't care about her children. Her career has just started to pick up a little bit now. Once she gets pregnant, she will definitely not be able to take on any more jobs based on how nervous Mo Yesi is about her. Although Chiao Mian is not the kind of woman who is particularly ambitious, she still has some pursuits in her career. She hopes to make some achievements and stabilize her career before she can think about having children. Mo Yesi also supported her in the beginning. But now, he seems to have changed his mind. Of course, Chiao Mian didn't blame him, nor would she get angry with him because of this. He wants to have a baby of his own as soon as possible, which is not something too extreme. Xiaomatzi is really my favorite boy. Every time I write about how he dotes on Mian, I feel so warm. My son is so good at smashing, you all should love him. End of this chapter.